Hi, my name's Greg Chappell. I'm here to talk about the caricature of my grandfather. I don't recall too much memorabilia from his sporting days. We used to go to his home. I can remember in the hallway a photograph of one of the Australian teams in which he played. He had played in the Bodyline series, was vice-captain of Australia in the Bodyline series. So it may well have been of that series, I don't recall. The only other memorabilia that I recall seeing at his home when we were kids was an Australian cricket blazer and an Australian jumper, both of which lined the dog kennel of his dog Danny. Vic was, probably still is, one of South Australia's greatest ever sportsmen. He represented the state in 5 sports, I think. Represented Australia in 2 sports, cricket and baseball. He played cricket, baseball, Australian rules football, lacrosse, swimming. He represented Australia, captained Australia. He won a McGarry medal as the fairest and best player in the SANFL competition in 1920. So all in all, you know, he was quite well known in South Australia as a sportsman. Probably the day that I remember most was at a family barbecue at our home where Vic came, and I would have been, I reckon I was about 16 at that stage. So Ian was probably just playing Test cricket or almost playing Test cricket. After lunch, Vic disappeared, went into the house. We were in the backyard, and Vic went inside, and I soon realised that Ian wasn't there either. So I went in to see what was going on, and there was Vic sitting in the lounge room, in the lounge chair with Ian on the floor, asking him questions about this player, that player, this test match, you know, this ground, just a lot of historical stuff around Vic's career and you know, what he knew. And it was fascinating to hear some of those stories, because I was at an age at sort of 16 where it was starting to mean something, because, you know, I grew up with Ian as my hero. He's my older brother, and I wanted to, you know, emulate whatever he was doing from a very early age. What people don't realise is that my early test matches were for England, because our test matches in the backyard were always Ashes test matches. Those hours in the backyard playing real test matches, in our mind they were real test matches. I batted for the whole England team. You know, Ian batted for the whole Australian team. You know, when you got out, you had to go into the laundry, fill in the scorebook as to how many runs that bloke had made, and then come back as the next fella. It was probably the first real challenge in my life, because whilst I didn't want to be beaten by my older brother, I didn't really have my heart in winning for England. So it was a real conundrum.
As good a shot as Greg Chappell has played throughout his fine.
I can remember once I dragged my grandfather out to bowl to me in the backyard, so I'd have been almost 5 when that happened. That's the only time I can remember getting him to actually do something physical around our cricket. He was happy to play tennis, he was happy to do all those things, but to get him to actually throw or bowl cricket balls was a real challenge. So all of that came flooding back to me, and I was surprised at how it took me. You know, it really brought the emotions to the surface, emotions that I wasn't even really aware of.